Stars above are steady like a...
Good evening, dear friend. Tonight, I invite you to join me on a gentle journey back in time into a story filled with warmth, soft light, and tender memories. Our story is called The Lantern by the Window. It is about a simple lantern, nothing fancy, nothing grand, just a small source of light standing quietly by the window of an old wooden house. And yet this lantern carries with it a lifetime of stories, guiding hearts with its glow and keeping alive memories that never fade. So, settle down comfortably. Let your body relax. Let your mind soften. With every word you hear tonight, imagine yourself moving deeper into calmness. Soon, this story will carry you into a restful night of sleep. There was once a small wooden house at the edge of a quiet village. The house stood near the river, where willow trees bent low, dipping their branches into the water. Every evening, when the sun slipped below the horizon and the sky turned a soft violet, a warm glow appeared at one of the house's windows. It was the lantern. The lantern was not new. Its paint had faded with time, and its glass was scratched from years of use. But when lit, its glow filled the room with a steady warmth, like the gentle embrace of a loved one. Children walking home from the fields would often look toward that window. The light reassured them that home was close, that safety and warmth waited inside. And for one family in particular, that lantern was not just an object. It was a keeper of their most cherished evenings. Long ago, when the children of the house were still young, the lantern became the heart of the home. At night, the family would gather near it. The father would sit by the wooden table, telling quiet stories from his youth. The mother would sew or prepare tea. The children would sit cross-legged on the floor, their eyes shining as they listened. The lantern's glow would flicker across their faces, making shadows dance on the walls. The room was filled with simple sounds, the creak of chairs, the whistle of the kettle, the soft laughter of children. Nothing extraordinary. And yet, it was everything. Those nights carried a magic that only later in adulthood one could recognize. The magic of togetherness. The lantern stood there silently, bearing witness. Its flame kept steady through stormy winds outside, through winters of snow, through summers when fireflies filled the garden. And each time the children looked toward its light, they felt anchored, safe, and loved. Seasons passed, one after another, and with each season, the lantern gained new memories. In spring, its light mixed with the scent of blooming flowers. The family would open the window, letting in the cool breeze, while the lantern's glow mingled with the silver moonlight. In summer, the lantern burned late into the night, while children told stories of adventures by the river, their laughter echoing until they drifted off to sleep. In autumn, its flame reflected on jars of harvested fruit and baskets of golden leaves, bringing a sense of abundance and gratitude. And in winter, when snow pressed against the window and winds howled outside, the lantern shone brightest, wrapping the family in warmth and comfort. The lantern was never just a tool for light. It was a companion, a guardian, a silent storyteller. But time, as always, moves forward. The children grew older. One by one, they left the house to study, to work, to build lives of their own. The wooden chairs stood empty more often. The laughter that once filled the room became an echo, carried only in memory. Still, the lantern remained. Every night, the father lit it and placed it by the window. Its glow reached out into the dark, as though calling to his children. This is still your home. The light will always wait for you. Sometimes, when the children returned for a visit, They would see the lantern glowing in the distance as they approached the house. No matter how many years had passed, that light brought back everything. The evenings of tea, the sound of their mother's voice, the warmth of belonging. One evening, many years later, one of the children, now grown with gray in his hair, returned to the house. It was late. The village was quiet. The river whispered in the dark. And there it was, as always, the lantern, glowing softly by the window. He paused outside, looking at it, remembering all those nights of his childhood. He could almost hear the sound of his father's voice, almost see the shadows of his siblings playing. Stepping inside, he found the old wooden table, the chairs, and the silence that comes when time has moved far ahead. But the lantern still glowed, steady and calm, as though to remind him that while much had changed, some things, love, memory, home, never truly fade. That night, as he sat by the lantern, he realized that this simple object carried within it the story of his entire life. It had taught him that light does not need to be bright to be meaningful. Even the smallest glow can warm the heart, can bring comfort through the darkest nights. He thought of his own children, living far away. He thought of the stories he had told them, the evenings they had spent together, and he smiled, because he knew one day they too would look back and remember the soft glow of love, just as he remembered the lantern by the window. And so, dear friend, tonight's story is also yours. Perhaps you too have a lantern by the window. Maybe not a real lantern, but a memory, a voice, a song, or a face that glows in your heart. It is the light that guides you back to peace whenever the world feels heavy. As you close your eyes now, imagine that lantern glowing softly for you. Its light is steady, calm, and warm. Let it remind you that you are safe, that you are loved, and that home is never too far away. The night is quiet. The stars are watching. The lantern glows. Rest well, and may your dreams be gentle. Good night.
Afternoon stretched on like golden thread in the green fields where my bare feet tread. Laughter carried on the summer breeze. Time stood still beneath those ancient trees. Green fields of home where the wildflowers grow. Memories linger like rivers that flow. Under the stars where the children would roam, I'll always return to the green fields of home. By the hearth with the firelight's glow, Mama's stories, soft and sweet, would flow. Shadows dance upon the cabin wall, echoes of a love that would never fall. Crickets sang the night's refrain, a melody etched in my veins. Green fields of home where the wildflowers grow. Memories linger like rivers that flow. Under the stars where the children would roam, I'll always return to the green fields of home. The drum. Morning's dew and the bees' gentle hum. The world was small, but it felt so wide. Every heartbeat in tune with the countryside. Green fields of home, where the wildflowers grow. Memories linger